My name is Yeshonis, and I'm here to tell his brother's story. Before I get into why I started traveling, let me explain. I was born in 1988 in Birmingham, Alabama. My family structure started out different. My parents were engaged during pregnancy with me, but my mom's broke it off for some reason. She didn't want to get married to my father. Now, both of them got two sides to the story. I don't know who to believe. Because then I go listen to my father, he got one story, and then I go listen to my mother, she got her own. So I don't know who to believe. But as a single mother, man, I was raised with my mother and my grandmother until I was like 6 years old. Then my mom's found old boy. Yeah, my stepfather. My stepfather and my mother started dating, and then they got serious. So they decided to get married. So in a loving, committed relationship, we moved away from Birmingham and moved back in the country part of Alabama. Yeah, I know. Y'all probably like, why did she do that? All of the jobs, and I don't know. Who knows? But again, now she had that extra security blanket, she felt more comfortable. My stepfather showed me some things, but my birth father was always around. Every time I needed him, he was there. And even when I didn't want him there sometimes, he was still there. But it's all good. I remember the early years of my father giving me advice, keeping me focused, right? I was focused because I had to be. He instilled that in me. All the decisions I would make, it was on the strength of my parents being there. See, unlike everybody else, I had three people in my life. My stepfather, my actual father, and my mother, and my grandmother, if you want to count her also, so that's four. But I was the guy that girls would pick third or fourth. They didn't want me. I can't make nobody want me. I can't make them attracted to me. I can't do none of that. But instead, they wanted those dudes that dress kind of rough. Because my mother had us dressing like Carlton in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, with the little suit, bow tie and all of that, with the sweaters some days, and she had us looking spiffy. But, you know, when you're dealing with a certain group or certain environment, they not feeling that. But I respect my parents for instilling a sharp dresser as I am. Even to this day, I dress sharply. And now people starting to appreciate the more and more I see or the more foreign women I meet. But that's neither here nor there, that's later on. But I got my first sexual intercourse or first sexual encounter when I was 16 years old, me and another 16-year-old girl doing this summer program that we had to do at a college, right? It was crazy because we supposed to be going there for a summer program, but we grew close. And this program taught me a lot though, because this was like one of them pre-colleges things, even though I went to a HBCU, this was one of those pre-college curses. I'm telling you, I love this place because then I found her. Now, it was crazy my first time having sex, but it wasn't about the sex. It was about the program also. But that kind of helped. But I want to thank that college experience over the summertime because it helped me create the man I am today. So let's just say I had to go back to high school. I lost touch with old girl, and I wanted to join the military after high school. So a recruiter came to my house and my mother went crazy. She was angry because this was around the time when that Afghanistan war was happening and they was gonna ship me right out to there. So I dropped that idea and I never talked about it again because I didn't want to disappoint my mother. You know how sometimes we do. We don't want to disappoint our parents. But then I went to a HBCU. And I used to look at just wealthy people as I was going to school, I'm just looking at wealthy people and like one day that's going to be me. Because they were doing what they wanted, they had these experiences that I always heard about. So I was always connected to wealthy families and being friends, but I was like the outsider. But I was still like the friends with some of the children as part of those families because I was a kid myself. And it was crazy seeing these parents, these families. And I always admired that. So I always thought, like one day I'm gonna be able to travel. One day I want to do that. One day I want to be out on my own. So I worked hard, became grown. Y'all know how it is. Now I reach my 30s. And it's like a prison when you're living in certain parts of the country, because certain parts are not like the city areas where you got access to everything. When you're in the country, stuff is like a draw, it's like a drag. Everything is slow. But then I didn't want that for myself. I said I knew there's more out there. And then I started getting online. I saw this dude named Yes Jonas, and he was talking so positive about traveling. And he was speaking a language in one of his videos. So I was like, man, he don't know the language. So I went to another video and I saw it. He was speaking Portuguese. He taught himself in his apartment. That right there shocked me. And I knew what I had to do. So I booked my ticket, got everything situated, even though my family didn't want me to do it, and I went out the country by myself with no one. Yeah, of course, I met Najee out there, but that wasn't the plan, but he was part of the Brotherhood, this little group I'm in. And man, it changed my life. Traveling out of this country changed my life. The culture shock, the people, everything was different. It was like now my eyes were open. I couldn't believe I was out of the country. Man, I wanted to kiss the ground. It still felt like a dream to this day, because all I know is the backwoods, the countryside of Alabama. That's all I know. And what you call is the city. But then I did something even more different. This happened right before the pandemic hit. I couldn't believe it. I'm out in Thailand. I just left Brazil. Now I'm out in Thailand. The water's beautiful blue. Thai people. Man, it shocked me. And I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I experienced this. And this is only the beginning. I'm not stopping. I'm only going forward. Don't let nobody stop you. You see the world, see the earth. Make it happen for yourselves. It'll change your life, because it changed mine. And there's only more to come. There's only more to come.